I actually want to read a question right now that we've been getting a lot. This one comes from Michael. He emailed me, why doesn't Mayor Wheeler just declare a 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. curfew for downtown? That way, the peaceful demonstrators will have plenty of time to peacefully protest, and everybody will know that they have to be off the streets by a reasonable established time. Then anybody who remains thereby will knowingly accept the risk of non-lethal force and or arrest. We got a ton of other questions in our inbox just like this one. To answer it, let's go back to the beginning. When the protests first started, Portland implemented a curfew for everyone to get off the streets at a certain time. It only lasted a few days before the mayor quickly gave up on curfews, and now we've seen 2 months of protests. So, how did we get here? Protests started in Portland just a few days after George Floyd was killed by a police officer in Minneapolis. The night of Friday, May 29th, we saw the first destruction downtown, with people smashing windows and causing major damage to businesses. Some people also broke into the Justice Center and set fires inside. Mayor Ted Wheeler enacted a citywide curfew from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. That curfew lasted a few nights, but it didn't really work. Demonstrators stayed on the streets after dark, and smaller groups continued to engage in violent and destructive behavior. Police arrested lots of people, but that didn't seem to stop anyone from showing up downtown. In a press conference on June 2nd, Wheeler said the curfew wasn't effective and decided not to extend it. Commissioner Joanne Hardesty told OPB that the curfew was having the opposite impact we were wanting to have. So the short answer is, Portland already tried putting a curfew in place, but it didn't make a difference. And that's how we got here.